Good morning, babe.
Morning, darling.
How are you? Have you recovered from our football hangover?
Oh, only just. Only just.
Better than yesterday, but sunglasses level still.
Sunglasses and pyjamas for me.
Yeah.
I'm staying in my pyjamas.
Almost pyjamas for me.
That's your comfy outfit, isn't it?
Yes.
That's your comfy. Is that your train outfit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting the train later. So, yeah. Clothes where I can't really feel any of them on me anywhere.
Perfect.
Oh.
Yeah, I just woke up. You woke me up very gently, very nicely this morning, saying, just gonna get up. Went down, got me a hot water, and came up. We're gonna have to wake up now.
Opening the blinds.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know how this is gonna go.
And you were very lovely. I was very nice.
It went well.
I got a cuddle with Spinny and he was very cute. Can't remember where I was going with this. Oh yeah, I just came downstairs. You were already doing your makeup and I was like, babe, I'm pyjama sunglassing today. It's, it's not a card that gets pulled out often.
No.
I've only ever done one pyjama episode. We did a few sunglasses episodes out of necessity. I'm calling today a necessity.
That's fair enough.
My eyes are a bit puffy. Hay fever's bad.
Yeah, and we haven't been drinking as much as, our heyday.
Yeah.
So the other night watching the Euros final was quite a return to form for both of us.
There was a lot of rosé drank.
There was a lot of
and
rosé.
Rosés, you can't drink rosé that much. You can drink rosé a bit. You can't drink that the whole night, which is what we did for some reason. I forgot.
Yeah. Also, sorry, Mum and Dad.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
We got to the level of drunk that we went out into the garden at half time and stole a cigarette off someone, a stranger.
Well, stole. Bloody, we were robbed, I reckon.
Well, exactly. Well, this is why I usually always go for the men, because they're
thick.
Fools. And I go and say, I got £1, I'll give you £1. And they go, no, don't worry, darling. And then I'm like, see you, sucker.
Yeah.
But we went up to this place. Well, you thought she might be a leather, but that still doesn't mean she'd be sick.
I served her in a restaurant earlier that day and I heard her saying something like, he clocked that I was a mass les, and I thought that means massive lesbian, and I think it did. And then when I started talking to her, I was like, haha. And she's at the football, mind you. I know not everyone there is a lesbian, but get over it. And I was like, haha, earlier you said something about being a mass les. And she was like, oh yeah, I am straight though. First red flag.
Dodgy. So she was quite not super keen on giving us a cigarette, but also wanted to tell us a lot about her life.
Yeah.
And then you were like, we'll buy you a drink. Oh yeah, go on. Aperol spritz, please. Huh?
That is not
how
this game goes.
Meager rollies, which they insisted on rolling for me. I was like, no, this is part of the pleasure, babes. I don't smoke anymore. I don't get to roll that often.
Oh, so you let her roll them for you?
What are you doing?
I also didn't even want one.
I thought they were being so generous in return for an entire Aperol spritz.
That is not the same. That does not equate.
But then also like a idiotic baby bird, I saw that Aperol spritz and then I was like, well, I need one too. Even though I was already like falling over on my ankles.
Yeah.
So then then it was terrible.
Game over for you.
Yeah.
I went for soda water and lime at this point, which was genius.
Good, because you were shouting the loudest in the whole pub. So it's probably...
Don't shame me. I was already embarrassed.
No, it was lovely. But you didn't need any more.
No, I didn't need any more. Also, I was like just shouting all of the names of the players to let everyone know that I knew them all. Go on, Bronze!
2-2!
Headbutt! So embarrassing. Oh, I had flashbacks to it in the night. I was like, no.
No, it was so fun. It was very liberating.
It was.
I get it now. I understand
I get
why
it
everybody
now.
likes shouting in the room full of strangers. I mean, I've done
in
it.
a room full of strangers.
I'd get into like the big men's tournaments.
Yeah.
But like I wouldn't know. I'd have to learn who everyone is just in the couple of weeks that I was watching it. I wouldn't know all the backstory and I wouldn't really care.
Yeah.
But now we've experienced that, plus really caring and knowing all of them and having followed them and knowing like, okay, so Bronze is playing on the same team as her ex-girlfriend Kira Walsh, but her current girlfriend, Olga Lottle.
Battle
is playing against her on the Spanish team and telling our lesbian friends about all of the lesbian connections. So much fun.
It's so fun.
Amazing. And very good football too.
And very good football. It's just a bonus that there's gossip and lesbian gossip to boot.
Oh my God, what a feeling.
What a feeling. It is. It was really good.
It was really
and
good.
in the lead up, I was like, this might be the best day of my life.
Yeah.
I was on
Yeah,
cloud
you kept
nine.
saying that. Yeah, we shared a pizza,
Yeah.
had some rosé,
Oh,
got hot
salty
in the
almonds.
sun, salty almonds, showered in a room full of strangers.
Wonderful.
It was the best.
It was.
And now we're here in sunglasses.
Yeah.
So other than the football, as mentioned in the last episode, we have been watching Shiny Happy People
Yes.
dug our family secrets.
Duggar. That doesn't work in an English
No,
language
no.
accent.
Because there's a season 2 out
Yes.
currently, which we have just got onto.
Season 2, A Teenage Holy War.
Ooh! So we binged the whole of the first season.
Yeah.
And if you haven't watched it, oh my God, you got to watch it.
Yeah, it kind of was better than I thought, because often I feel like with these kind of documentaries, they lose momentum and they lose my attention.
Yeah,
like they
I
start
thought
off
that.
big and then I'm kind of like, yeah, where's this actually going? But great stuff.
I think it was really well made.
One thing I will say,
Yeah.
it was a bit all over the place. Like they talk about one thing, then talk about something else for like an episode, and then come back to it really briefly, and I was a bit like, but I could still
Sometimes-
follow it.
Sometimes when I was a bit tired or had...
I was having a chili con carne when you were incredibly drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we watched some. for some
I was
reason.
suddenly like, is this a flash forward to the next episode or is this the current episode still?
Yeah.
'Cause there'd be all of these bits. But then,
It tied together, didn't it?
and I think it was thoughtful storytelling. It wasn't just like one thing after another thing after
Yeah.
another thing. Because it was such an expansive web of topics starting from this one family and going out towards like basically the source of, I mean, basically fascism.
Yeah.
And just like it went massive. They talked about these creepy kind of like army camps that,
Yeah, like Hitler Youth, basically.
yeah, that they train all of the skinny little white
They were
kids
called
in.
Alert, I think. And also the whole IBLP, which is the Foundations of Learning or something, that all of this was all based from, and like it comes from this one guy who's running all of the workshops.
Bill
and
Gothard.
Bill Gothard. It's really similar to Nixium.
Yeah.
It made me think of Nixium because people, but just like it's a different group. Like the target group is different. Like Nixium was kind of targeting corporate people, right? Or like people who wanted to be kind of corporate and taken seriously in business. That was kind of how I imagined it in my mind. But then this lot are just like Christians who are maybe a bit lost in the modern world and need guidance. But it's all like
leads back
taking it back to these principles that allow for structures to remain and hierarchies to exist so that the cult can win.
It was interesting because Nexium is almost the opposite, but ending up in the same place.
Yeah.
Because it would have been about like breaking free of old stereotypes and like finding your inner wild person.
But they were kind of all going to these workshops, weren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. In the workshops, the things that were being taught were like the opposite of Christian
Yeah.
fundamentalism.
Yeah.
They were kind of like lots of meditation, looking inside yourself. But in the end, they all ended up in like the animalistic core of man is this, and the animalistic core of woman is this.
Yeah.
And
And
males
that
finding
therefore
their power.
you should sleep with our leader
Yeah, that's
and
what it
get
all ends
branded
up
on
with.
your fanny.
But the IBLP stuff, it's absolutely ridiculous. Well, okay, so many thoughts. First of all,
What is it?
they
IBLP is Institute of Basic Life Principles or something. Learning,
Yeah.
something like that.
the way that they teach them, they literally teach them with demonstrations to beat their children.
Oh my god, I completely forgot about
Is
that
like-
scene.
Is like horrible dog training that you wouldn't even you wouldn't even think of doing to your own dog.
It made you say, this makes me very proud of how we raised Spinach.
Well, okay, Spinach is a nightmare, and sometimes people are like, you just need to slap him in the face every time he makes a noise. I'm like, well, yeah, I could, but then he's only behaving because he's living a life of fear, and I don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
Because
how about that, guys?
Ethics.
Yeah.
And like there are like they made their children do what they want up to a point because they were terrified.
They also
but
like
then they're completely fucked up.
Yeah, and they like encouraged people to like, was it literally beat them from when they were like 10 months old?
A baby. Yeah. And they have like a particular, it's so similar to dog training because they have a particular implement that they beat them with that they like gesture towards or bring out and
but
say,
they would
do
say,
you
like,
need encouragement?
Yeah, do you need encouragement? And they would purposefully say it in a happy tone.
And so it creates like a fixed instinct in their brain to like not rebel. And there was the horrible blanket time.
That's what I was,
They put a baby who can't walk on a blanket, put something that they want outside of the blanket, and every time they try and reach for it, they take it away.
Yeah.
So they basically are retraining
to not have free will kind of thing.
Yeah, to not do
or
anything that they want or not express. And they're not allowed to cry when they're
basically
being
only
abused.
do what they're told.
And of course,
they also said that they would like hit them on certain parts where it wouldn't be an issue if authorities came.
It's awful. And this is meant to be the peak of like morality.
Like Christianity, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, they link it then to like
sexual abuse,
assault and grooming that happens because we already know it can be hard just in like, I guess, normal society. Women and young people are often taught not to understand, not to be in touch with their feelings of saying no or how to say no to things.
Yeah.
But these people are literally trained, their neural pathways are changed so that they don't know, there isn't an option for them to say no to anything.
And also they probably don't, and they also have to say yes to whatever the eldest man in the room is doing. Great.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound suspicious at all.
Oh my God, it's crazy. And then on top of that, so they're creating victims who don't have anywhere to go or don't have any outlet, and they're creating perpetrators because they've got this whole obsession around anything that could be seen as sexual, which is obviously going to create a load of fucking perverts because you're like, oh, don't look at her knickers because
they had an exercise in their learning book that was like pictures of all of these women, and you had to point out what was immodest about them, and it could be like their collarbone or their fucking wrist.
So it's like even sisters around brothers aren't allowed to do things that will stir up their desires or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just was like, it's just crazy that these are, because they showed that a lot of these people who are kind of trained up in these camps then end up being in like government and Trump's cabinet and stuff.
Yeah.
And this is the basis of a lot of the people who will say like, the left are stifling free speech and stuff. When they literally can't say anything.
You've beaten any free thought out of your child from when they're born.
Buy tampons. They're not allowed to listen to like not even rock music, like the lamest pop music in the world.
Yeah.
They're not allowed to play with any toy that doesn't have a Christian theme. Like there isn't a single free thought, let alone free speech that they can do. I mean, obviously this is the most extreme version.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, but
it's just
it seemed
crazy.
to be quite widespread. And what was really sad when we were watching all of the kind of ex-cult members, like the children usually of the cult, just all talking about how they just didn't get an education, so how could they think that they could live outside of it because it was all they were taught.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, it's so tragic. And then thinking about the Duggar kids and how the mum and dad just keep on shagging and have 19 kids, but then all of the kids are expected to raise the kids.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that ever, that it was so messed up.
But it was, I mean, I guess we saw like a handful of the people that managed to think their way out of it.
Yeah.
And there's obviously so many who haven't. But it was kind of, there was a sense of hope in some of the people, in some of the characters who had reached a realization, just an instinctual realization of how wrong it all was and how they didn't want to be involved in it, even just from their own sheer like force of will.
Yeah.
Even though that went against everything that they'd
ever been taught.
Oh my God, it was crazy. And then the Duggar family, one of the sons,
surprise,
is
a paedophile.
And
a convicted paedophile.
The parents knew and covered it up for ages, despite putting their own children at risk.
Well, yeah, at risk, like allowing it. Basically,
knowing that they had already been victims.
I was quite amazed at like I think it was Jill Duggar who was one of like his victims, and she seemed quite in the cult, and somehow with her husband, like, who, you know, their marriage was on the show, their birth was on their the birth of their child was on the show, which they didn't want it to be. There was all a lot of like interesting ethics and legal stuff about all of that. She managed to also think her way out of it.
Even though
and her husband were in it.
Her dad like picked her husband for her and everything when they were both like 15. But obviously they just were really lucky in that as soon as they were together, they felt like they had enough of their own unit to then kind of rebel. Which, even though like they sort of have to rebel within like the wider bounds of kind of still being a Christian and still being like very family oriented, but not, well, also it was a lot to do with them discovering that they'd never been paid and never would be paid for this like massive TV series that had gone on for years and years and years.
Yeah, then I think they got offered like minimum wage or something equivalent of in a lump sum or something.
Crazy.
When their dad was getting millions.
I'm just like, it was just so crazy to think about like these things that those types of people like Bill Gothard will say, that lefties, you know, that they'll say the paedophilia ring conspiracy stuff and they'll say the free speech stuff, and those are literally the two things that are like
they're
rampant.
That's their
created
MO.
Is
that a word? Is that MO?
Yeah, modus operandi, way of operating, way of working.
Well, okay, good. Yes, it's their MO.
Like they are creating mentally ill people because they're institutionally abusing children.
That's funny. Sorry, that's not funny, what you just said. But I was just remembered, I saw on Instagram yesterday someone saying like, I support men's mental health, but... And I was like, I support men's mental health. That's such a weird sentence to say. Do you know what I
mean? What do you mean? Like I support, because... I
support men not being mentally ill. I'm like, yeah, good. That seems normal to me.
Yeah.
That's weird. It'd be weird to not support men's mental health. But I also just find the word mental health... people use it weirdly, right? All the time.
Yeah.
Because like, we don't say I support... Maybe you do.
People don't say like, because health doesn't mean good. People don't say good mental health or bad mental health. They say like, it's time to raise awareness for everybody having mental health.
Yeah, that kind of,
rather than saying ways to improve your mental health or bad mental health. Yeah, it is. People do use it in a weird way.
Sorry, that was a tangent.
That was out of nowhere, left field, but sorry. I'm with you.
Thank you, darling.
I said they create mentally ill people. I think that's where it came from.
Yeah, it must have been.
There you go. Anyway, it's just absolutely baffling and like terrifying and just happening.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Cults are always happening, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's really trash.
Yeah, but this one is so massive. And then this next series is looking at like kind of rock and rolly Jesus cults for teenagers.
Yeah.
So that's going to be very fascinating.
Very exciting. It already looks a bit scary, doesn't it?
Because you almost got caught up in one, didn't you, in Australia?
Well, look, they always come to your school.
They didn't come to mine.
Well, you're lucky. They
What did they?
they,
What
they
do
were
you
they were
mean?
like they were immersed in the school. There were lots of members of it in the school.
See, Australia's got all sorts of cults
Like-
going on, I think.
Who was the head girl a few years above me,
Yeah.
and so it infiltrated the political
What she was?
structure of our school.
She was a member of this church.
I think so, yeah. And then they came, and they were always like, "Have an iPad. You'll get an iPad. You could win an iPad or something like that." If you, I'm like, "Oh, I quite like an iPad." And also, I was like, "This sounds nice. I'll go." And I went along, and I was like, "I don't like this." And it was like music. I got given a very interesting square-shaped green Bible that went to the top of my wardrobe and never came down again. And I remember I went to this girl's house a couple of times. Yeah, I can't really remember much, but I went a couple of times and I was like, "That's not for me."
But she was part of it.
Yeah. I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah. Me too.
I guess that is different. Well, it's not. It's like using the same tactics.
You can't tell what the actual religion, what the structure of it would have been like. It might have been harmless, but the fact that they're sort of using iPads to draw in young teenagers
Yeah.
does put it under question, doesn't it?
Yeah, I feel like, so basically when I say the iPads thing, I just remember them like coming to school and being in like the square, like of like, I don't know, outside, and they would like do events or something and then be like, "If you come along, you could have a chance to win an iPad." Like, I'm sure that was a thing.
What, they were actually allowed within the vicinity of your school?
They were inside our
do
school.
That's weird.
And also we had like a Christian chaplain. Is that normal? I think a lot of schools have that, right?
My schools were like sort of like there would be Christian things that happened within the people that ran the school.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the people who were in there talking about the iPads were the likes of who were...
She was a plant.
She's a plant, that's what I'm saying. There's probably more people in the school who went to those things as well. I just can't remember because I can't even believe I can remember that much, to be honest, because I always forget everything. But there you go. Oh, and I knew it wasn't cool because Indigo didn't go with me, so I had to stop that.
Thank goodness for Indigo.
Always. So I'm excited to finish watching that. We should watch that after this little bit of it.
Oh yeah, I'm absolutely loving it.
Me too.
There's a lot of good stuff on Amazon Prime.
Damn it.
I hope we can keep using my mum's account for a bit longer.
Yeah, she's not going to cancel that anytime soon. She wouldn't. No offense, Serena, but you're not going to bother clicking through all the cancel buttons on Amazon Prime. What?
There's good stuff, but you've already got Prime membership and then they put adverts in. That's
And
fucking ridiculous.
you have to then...
B, there's loads of stuff that you still have to buy.
I know.
Like couples therapy, I watched the 4th series and I hadn't watched any other series, and I finished it yesterday and it's just so good. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to go back to the beginning. None of the other series are on iPlayer. They are on Prime, but you have to pay like $2.99 for each episode or something.
I guess one thing that is good about it is that like you pay for Prime, right? So then you get the benefits of Prime. Not that we use it only for emergencies.
So you get more than just watching.
Yeah.
I guess.
But I
still.
do think about every time if I
wanna
have
watch
to
it.
get something off Prime, which isn't often, as I said, I do really think about all the people in the factories, and I'm always like, they're going to be like, another order coming in, and then they're all really stressed, and the driver's got to drive really fast because he's got to get there quick. We live quite far away from a lot of places.
Yeah, it's not good, is it?
No.
I'll find another way to watch Couples Therapy. Man, that's a good show.
Yeah.
That is such a good show.
Goody.
She is such a good therapist. Anyway, you haven't seen it. What else have we seen together?
We finished Too Much.
We finished Too Much.
Which kind of, I loved it as a whole.
Yeah.
But I think in the last few episodes,
they weren't as good as
they
the
weren't
start.
as good as the start. Notably because Rita Ora was in it.
Oh.
Why did you do that?
Why did she do that?
I think if you're an outsider, we were praising her for all of her astute observations of
yeah.
English culture. As an outsider, I can see how Rita Ora seems like she's a big star because everyone says she's a big star, but no one actually listens to her music.
I couldn't tell you a single song. She went on X Factor for a while. No, The Voice. Either way.
I literally don't know. Something that, I mean, the fact that Taika Waititi is married to her does make me think she must be sound. But also she threw a very big party during lockdown and I won't forget it.
Did she?
It was a big thing, yeah. I remember learning about it when we were living in Seven Oaks.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I didn't enjoy it. And I think that was Lena Dunham showing her having now become like a celebrity, because you don't need to, like, on Girls she wouldn't have done a cameo like that was like clunky and like, oh, don't worry that Rita Ora can't act because it's Rita Ora on your show. Like, as soon as
it didn't work like that. It wasn't like the big reveal where the curtain drops and everyone's like woo clapping on the Disney Channel because it was Rita Ora. I'm sorry, she's not a megastar. Dua Lipa I could have gotten behind.
Oh,
but you also know Dua Lipa wouldn't have been able to act any more than that.
No, I'm very glad we didn't experience that either.
Yeah.
Just
it was all unnecessary, the scene. It was showing her like taking over and like doing the directing.
It was kind of cheesy,
yeah,
that she was suddenly like, okay, I've got to take this into my own hands. You go there, Sparkles over there, a little bit quieter, just her on her own.
Yeah.
And then it was like, she's a director, and it just,
and it's like, I don't think that would have happened.
It all happened too quickly, yeah.
And also I think that was the point, wasn't it? I think it was like an attempt at the end to be like, remember, this is a rom-com and we're kind of parodying a rom-com, or doing a realistic rom-com. And they kind of tried to make the last couple of episodes into a movie rather than keeping along with the TV of it, which it was romantic enough and comedy enough throughout the whole thing, but I guess they wanted more tropes or something, because of the end bit where she like went to the M25 protest.
I feel like that bit lacked in emotion from him.
I wouldn't believe that he would do that.
Yeah,
I didn't have.
That was a mixing up of character. Like, XR people who glue their hands to the road are not the same as these indie boys who might pretend that they do that, but they don't actually do that because they're too interested in being cool.
Yeah, there wasn't a through line of him being interested in the environment. He was
he would look very different. He would have stretched ears.
Like,
he would be wearing a funny scarf, and he'd have a Mohican. Like, he wouldn't be Will Sharp with lipstick on.
And if he was, he would have talked about it a bit more.
Yeah,
and but he wasn't doing that. He also like has a stage. Like, often he's performing, so he would have said something, like, and we would have seen him because we saw him perform. So there's a few little bits like that, and also just like the M25 bit was a bit annoying. She was like, do you know where this is in the bathroom? And then he was like, I know that service station from anywhere. And then suddenly they're on the M25, and then suddenly they're in a traffic jam, but then the traffic jam happens to be directly next to where they all are. I was just like, okay. I mean, I know that is the rom-com element, so it's meant to be a bit of a joke, but it kind of didn't fully tie up with the rest of the show.
Yeah, because I feel like the rest of it, there was some really, really real, like, deep investigations of relationships.
Oh, and he fucked Jennifer Saunders.
Yeah. So I heard Megan Stalter on another podcast saying that she asked Lena Dunham if the cheating had actually happened, and she said it hadn't. Just as a little snippet, like, of how much was actually in her and her husband's relationship.
Oh, in Lena Dunham's life?
Yes.
Oh, I thought I was confused.
The cheating between her and her husband didn't actually happen. So interesting that she
wrote that
added it in as a bit of drama. But
I've got to fit Jennifer Saunders in here playing the exact character from Ab Fab, but 30 years later or whatever.
I guess like it was a good, I don't know whether like it was a good way of looking at his addiction issues, because I feel like that was quite a believable kind of place that he could end up. Yeah, definitely. She kind of just was there all of a sudden. He was just taking advantage of him when he'd like fallen off the wagon, and I feel like that was, it felt believable. Yeah, and I did love Megan Stalter throughout. Me too. I loved a lot of the performances, like the gay guy that she worked with. I thought he was really good. Yeah. Like, very believable person.
Yeah.
All the characters at the terrifying posh characters at the wedding, I thought that was
that was a really good,
well studied kind of like,
I agree,
druggy, bohemian, out of touch, annoyingly arty, wearing ridiculous bows and pointy shoes.
That really made me laugh when she got stuck in the bathroom.
Oh my God.
Climbed out. That was really fun. And that girl, Hyacinth was the name of the little girl who knocked her in. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. It was all good.
Yeah, it was really good. Megan Stalter said that Lena Dunham just messaged her on Instagram and said, I've got a project in mind for you. And
oh my God. And it ended up being this.
Yeah, and she was like, even if it's like a loo roll commercial, like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And then she had a Zoom call with her and it was this.
Oh my
Which is,
God.
like, crazy.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Really cool.
Loved it.
Yeah.
In general, loved it.
In general, really, really watchable.
Yeah.
And lots of fun.
Exactly.
Oh, I feel pumped up again. I feel like there's been a fresh wave of telly.
A fresh injection of a Christian fundamentalist documentary.
Oh, yes.
Your mum said something else about another cult documentary that's set in Britain. Have you looked it up more?
Britain? It's set in a little kind of place called Britain. No, I haven't looked it up. I will be watching that.
I hate myself.
No, it wasn't annoying.
No, it was. I've never said Britain in my life.
I've never heard you say Britain.
No, and I haven't ever said it. I don't know why I said it. It was almost like in my head I was reading the Wikipedia page that I had read to like know what your mum was talking about.
It wasn't your Australian coming out.
No.
Whenever we meet people and then you're like at the bar or something, they always go, does she have an Australian accent then? Like they always ask me if you have an Australian accent.
Do they?
Even though they've already met you.
Who?
And I don't know people. It happens to me a lot.
That's weird.
And I'm like, or they say like, she doesn't have an Australian accent, does she?
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm
either
like,
one, yeah.
You know what? It does come out when she pushed. But maybe
you're going to say when she poos.
No.
Pierced, yeah.
Oh, God, Jimmy. It's
What?
coming out.
Who's Jimmy?
That was it. Yeah, that was. I don't know. No, that was Jimmy's not your poo. That was just you talking in Australian while you were doing a poo. But Jimmy was the only name I thought I could say in Australian.
And you
Could you say Daisy? Daisy.
There you go.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
That was pretty good.
Anyway, well, how did we get there?
I said Britain.
Yeah, I think maybe that was your Australian coming out.
Okay.
All right, we better be off then.
Can you remember what the documentary was called that your mum was talking about?
Jesus.
Oh yeah, it's Jesus Army. Jesus Army. It's about the Jesus Army. So go find that it's on Netflix.
Ooh.
Jesus Army. Don't know what it's called. It's on Netflix. Watch that before as your homework for next week.
Also on the Patreon, we're going to be discussing Amy Bradley is Missing. That's what it's called. Another Netflix documentary, which I think came out recently, and I binged it all.
And when you say discussing, it's going to be a monologue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can ask questions if you want. But yeah, I watched it all while you're at work.
Okay.
It was exciting. Guys, go and do your homework and then listen to the Patreon when it comes out. The link is in the show notes. It's at Doing the Maths.
Perfect.
Sign up if you haven't already. We talk about all sorts of other TV shows and our general life.
I think, yeah, we're also going to be talking about some arguments we've had recently about our wedding. Yay. So if you want the personal stuff, go there. You got to pay for it, boys and girls.
Yeah.
Babies.
The secret combos happen there.
Yeah.
For our patrons only. But love you.
I love you, darling.
We'll be back soon.
Yeah, we'll be back soon. Love you so much.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.